All right, quick episode this week, me and Chris.
Quick one.
A mini episode.
Quick mini.
Let me be on brand. Apologies.
Mini because I'm small because I don't work out anymore.
Okay, you don't have to lie. Everyone can see you. I mean, granted, everyone listening right now can't tell, but everyone literally sitting here and just watching it, they're going to be able to tell that, yes, you still do work out. In fact, you did right before this.
I did. That was rough.
We don't have to go into it, but
JT saw me go up the stairs.
it was a slow movement up the stairs. At one point, I was like, maybe we should take the elevator. and
we got halfway up.
There was only 2 floors in this building.
The whopping second floor.
Right. So we thought it'd be great to catch up about Wodapalooza SoCal and your experience there.
True.
Working for an athlete.
True.
Do you want to drop who you were working with?
Yeah, I was shooting for Pat Vellner.
I thought you were just going to leave it at Pat and then just assume that everyone would know.
I mean, everyone should know.
Be like Prince, you know? Like
everyone should know.
Yeah.
Pat's a guy. He's a good dude.
Yeah. So we'll dive into a little bit about that and catch up. And like I said, quick mini episode, so nothing too crazy. Where would you like to start, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I had a blast. That was honestly probably one of my favorite competitions I've ever shot.
What stood out about it? Like, what was the...
It's just a different level of, like, fun. Because, like, the athletes are taking it serious. I think there's a completely different element to team sport in CrossFit than there can be to individual sport. Like, especially from, like, a seriousness level. Not to say that, like, people weren't taking it serious, because they definitely were. But, like, there was a little more fun to be had with the events and with the workload was
the smack talk. distributed.
Yeah, like it's cool to see like the specialty athletes do like what they're good at. Like, not that most of those athletes are obviously incredible at everything, but like they got to be put in places where they like really succeed well. So that was really cool. I mean, obviously there are some events that are like super hype for some individuals, and obviously Team North America won. Go Team NA. I was shooting for the whole time, so that was pretty cool. And it was a fun storyline, you know, because Team North America was behind going into the final day. So maybe they were tied. I can't remember exactly. I think maybe they were behind going into the final day by a point or two, and then they brought it home. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of the events were really fun to shoot. I felt like as a media person with outside media credential, I had a lot of access to really kind of shine. Obviously, like, outside press doesn't get like floor access, but like, I mean, either way, it's still like a lot more than I've had shooting other competitions. Yeah. And that was really cool. I mean, it's also just a unique setting, you know, like half the time I'm like walking through sand, right? You know, like it's built on the beach, which is also cool in its own right, you know, especially like the event that we don't get to see a lot of stuff like the heavy carry, the Sandy Delivery 2.0, I think was the name of the event. It's weird. Like there sometimes you get tired of it, but you're also like, oh, it's pretty cool to be like walking around in the sand and like shooting in the sand. Like, I don't know. It's just different.
It sounds like what I'm hearing is like a little bit different on the vibes aspect. Like athletes, guards were a little bit down, less pressure on themselves to perform both for themselves individually, represent their team and everyone that's put blood, sweat, and tears into the entire season. So it wasn't like a culmination of like an entire season, then boom, which differentiates it obviously from the games. So that allowed you, I'm sure, to get a lot more like candid moments and a lot more like conversations with you and the athletes. Yeah,
is when you're shooting CrossFit like an individual CrossFit competition, there is camaraderie, but it's a different kind. It's different when I get to shoot like a picture of 5 people from Team NA like screaming and cheering at their one teammate that is doing the work. Like, it's just the opportunity for photos different, but in a really cool way. Yeah. So like I have this one photo that sticks out to me specifically that I took that I really liked, and it was like 4 people from Team NA like screaming for like Jason Hopper doing the Grace. Mm-hmm. And then he was doing like the sweep at the end, and it's like that photo, he's like blurry, but like the photos of everybody screaming at him and like getting hyped up after he won that. So like stuff like that doesn't come around often. So it's kind of cool that you get to experience something different.
Yeah.
And really fun.
Did you have like any fear about sand getting in your gear? That would be like my number.
No, dude, I didn't even think about it.
I'd be like freaking out.
I didn't even think about it, honestly.
Yeah.
The last day, it was a little mistier. It felt like you could feel the ocean, like the, you know, when you're at the ocean and you kind of feel like you feel kind of like water going through the air almost. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Like,
it used to go through my hair, but I don't have much hair anymore.
Well, it'd be like that. But
unfortunately,
I still don't really think about it too much. I get kind of not tunnel visioned, but like just in a competition experience in general, like I'm usually pretty locked in. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about any of that. I mean, there were moments where I was like, oh, okay, got a little sand on my like lens, like inside the lens cap.
Yeah.
Going for different angles, and like it just happens. I don't know. It's
talk about that, because I know, at least I always pull from the examples that we do together.
Yeah.
So with NorCal, northern part of California, as opposed to the southern part of California, have you thought about going to a central California competition to then have all three?
Have I thought about going to a Central California competition? I don't know of any Central California.
Okay, that's okay. So what about like perspective wise? Like, were you able to, was there certain things that stood out perspective wise, or like different shots? You already mentioned from an athlete visual perspective, how you were able to get people in different looks, so to speak, but like just different visuals of athletes. Was there anything stylistically you're able to play around with or anything like that? Yeah,
I mean, I think the way the competition is run, like they really try to emphasize doing most of the events for the Tier Cup at night, which there's a lot of cool opportunities for photos with like how they utilize the lights, because it feels kind of like a party.
Sure.
I mean, there's one picture that I really liked. It's of Pat Vellner doing a dumbbell snatch, and just all the lights around him, and they're like all different colors. It just kind of stuck out to me as one of the pictures I really liked that I took from the weekend. I think it's one of the ones that I posted. But stuff like that, I mean, again, it's just a different, unique experience, like in that it's also all outside, which, we've talked about with NorCal can have its own challenges, but I do like how they had it scheduled where most of that stuff was in the evening. So for me, I prefer that, and I think they light the stage nicely, in a way where you're not having to like really compromise with your camera. Like one of our friends, Ish had that huge 300 to 600, but it was a F4. And we like got there the first night of the Tier Cup, and he was like, I feel like the stage is lit enough for me to use that. And I was like, oh, dude, absolutely. Go get it. And he like ran back to the media tent to grab it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know. It was awesome. Venue was awesome. The way it was set up was cool. I mean, again, being on the beach, it was nice. The first day was hot. Yeah. But the second 2 days was like overcast, which I think looks nice on photos.
Oh yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
How about from a networking or talking to other fellow creatives? You already mentioned Ish was there. Probably our normal cast of characters, but any like really good conversations or? Oh yeah,
I mean, I had great conversations with a lot of people. It's hard. Like there are some people I know their role, but I don't know exactly what they are to the competition, so I don't really like particularly want to say what that person was, but I mean, I met a lot of great people. Like I had to miss they had like a walk around kind of like briefing for the media.
Yeah.
But when we got there on Thursday, I wasn't going to be able to make that. So Tim, who was one of the like lead, I think my understanding of what his position was like lead of like the outside press, to kind of make sure we weren't being like hooligans. Yeah. I walked up and I was like, hey, Ish, I know you're busy. Like, can you help me with this? And Tim was like, oh, dude, I'll give you the full tour right now. And so he like ran me around and like basically showed me everywhere we were allowed to be, what we were allowed to, where we were allowed to go. So it's just like really cool that they were super accommodating.
Yeah, a lot of communication.
Yeah, 100%.
That's cool.
And I mean, again, there are tons of people I got to meet for the first time and chat with. I mean, I think every creator has their own unique perspective of like what they're trying to achieve and like what look they have.
Right.
And I think, I have a lot of respect for creators.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, and I know you're the same way. Like, I think it's better to be a collective group of individuals coming together to all achieve our best versions of ourselves and our work, right? I don't try to look at stuff like that as like competition. Like,
no, I mean, if anything, it should be us lifting each other up. So like little things like being able to ask you, hey, like, do you think this lens would make sense? Like, I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I've had it happen to me in the past where like you're like running low on battery and someone just happens to have a Sony battery next to you and they're like, here, real quick, But yeah, no, it's so important that we all come together as a community. And I know the word community is so overused, but like, I don't know how else to describe it, right? It's like, I mean, it's collective group of people.
Yeah.
No, but it's so important that we all come together and we don't, like you said, we don't look at it as competition. We look at it as helping one another out, and anything, it's the whole idea of, what is it? Rising tides, something all ships.
Yeah.
Something.
I know what you're going for. I don't know exactly what that quote is either, but I do know
we need to read more books and look at less media. But yeah, no, it's the idea of like everyone coming together to help each other out, and everyone gets lifted up. The quality gets better. You learn something from somebody else. You see a different technique.
Totally.
When you're doing something different that maybe other people aren't, like kind of pull them aside if they have questions and like be able to like talk to them about it. And hey, like, here's how I do it if they ask you, or like whatever it is. I think that's so important because, again, there are so many opportunities out there. There are so many sponsors. There are so many athletes. There's so many competitions that like us as a single person cannot cover everything, nor should we try to. Yeah. So if we can help others out, achieve success, like that's always going to come back.
Yeah. That's like, I always think of it like this, like this is the best example I can think of in my head, but I think everybody has their own unique perspective, and it's like those, have you ever seen those like those like art projects? It's like where it says a word if you look at it one way, and then you look at it from the side, it says another word, and you look at it from another side, it says another word. So it's like everybody has a different view, a different perspective on like what they're trying to achieve. And like, I mean, again, we've talked about it 100 times. Like I learned a lot by just seeing what other photographers or other videographers are doing, which, I mean, I think there's always something to gain from either just talking to somebody or like asking them like, oh, hey, can I see that? Or like, oh, hey, I want to see, like, I like seeing other people's work.
Yeah, it challenges into a new perspective.
100%. I mean, I like to play around with my own work. I think there's some photos that I took and I edited them in a very different style than I normally do, and I posted them. And I think I posted like a little something different or something when I posted the photos.
Well, yeah, it's probably like you utilizing a Sony camera and realizing how much better it is than Canon. It's that kind of idea.
Holy smokes.
Any like lessons learned, takeaways on that end? Whether they be hard or maybe just like we just mentioned, all those conversations?
Lessons learned.
You can say it's a great question because you're thinking about it, and I feel like it's a great question.
There was a question there.
Man, tough crowd.
That was a question. I mean, I think it was another opportunity to... I think there's one thing I brought up to another photographer that I'm friends with, who's a great photographer, kind of first photographer that took a chance on me, really, Imam. And I was talking to him about...
Eric.
Yeah, Eric. I was talking to him...
He has a name.
About... Well, I feel like most people that might know him.
Everybody knows each other by Instagram handles.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, that's kind of thing.
Sorry,
like,
continue.
I'm like the average strength photographer. No, I'm just kidding. But I brought up to him, I was like, we have that 100 to 300 lens, like the f2.8, which incredible lens, dude. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite lenses I've ever shot with. Definitely rented. It's a very expensive lens. But I brought up to him like, oh yeah, I found myself like always wanting to use f2.8 because like you kind of rent a lens like that for the f2.8.
Right.
But I was like, getting not frustrated, but I was like, I should stop up for some of these shots. Like not being afraid to like don't pigeonhole yourself because you rented this incredible lens for the idea that you could have a lower f-stop and have that like smoother, creamier, background to your photo, and then like not also utilize the fact that like you can still get great photos shooting at f5. Like even like you can get a better look than like if you're going for a certain look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a reminding myself of that weekend, like, hey, you don't got to just sit at f2.8, dog. Like I know you got this dope lens, and that's kind of why you got it. So that you can be wide open and have a good range of focal length. But I also found myself shooting with that lens like f5 a lot, for especially given that it was like a team aspect, and I was trying to get those pictures where it's like I've got 5 people in frame that I all want to be in focus, depending on the situation. So
no, that's cool.
Stuff like that.
So yeah, I think that's a good place to stop at because it's exciting. Probably our next mini one's going to be after Desert City.
Yeah,
but I don't even think that can be a mini one because of the amount of things.
It might be. That might be our next mini. There might be one before that.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll leave it at that.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. Chris with the great teasers. Always thinking marketing.
Hey.
And we'll catch you in the next
one. We're
praying. We will catch you in the next one.
See you guys next time. Thanks, Sam.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Capture the Reps podcast. If you're a fitness creative and you found this episode helpful, please share this with a fellow creative and keep creating, keep learning, and keep capturing those reps. We'll see you next time.